Hello and welcome to this Saturday, August 24th, 2019 episode of Sidekick Mastermind. Now, today's episode is Discover the Tool for Any Job. Now, this takes resourcefulness, creativity, thought, and sometimes you don't have that on the job site. The best tool for the job comes through mastery, and this has recently been disputed even more that the 10,000 hours of working on something creates mastery. But when you use a lot of tools, when you know what tools are out there, that's how you discover the best tool for the job. And the only way to do that rapidly is through the internet. See, there's this thing called experience, and people have thought that experience is extremely important. And the reason that the internet is so popular, even though people think, oh, you're just on the computer, you're not experiencing the real world. Well, this is the real world. We are now living in a virtual world. We are now living in something unlike we've ever experienced in history. It's interesting that The Matrix came out and people thought, no, there's no way. I believe it came out in 1999. I'm going to double check right now. The Matrix. 1999, so 20 years ago. And we are living in the Matrix. Now, can you learn Kung Fu that rapidly? Not quite. But you can sit and have an abundance of Kung Fu videos. You can make your own videos, upload it. People can say, okay, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, change this, change that. The internet now expands us in a way that was never possible. Finding the best tool for the job. See, the internet can enable you. The internet is more powerful than talking to hundreds or thousands of people. You could go to every single local business in your community and not have the same insights. Now, you could also go to all those businesses on the internet and not have the same insights. You're going to have to get different insights they offer two different realms. But the virtual realm is taking over where I think it's a generational gap. People that were born in the last 20 years were born into the Matrix. They've completely known about it. There's been no other way. Even if you look at like 1999, if you were born in 1999, there was the internet. People were communicating across the internet. So to completely rule out the simulation theory is really difficult. And that's why so many people are less theist now than ever before. Theology had stood the test of time for so long, and now this young crowd, I really struggle to find young people that believe in any sort of real religion. People want to believe in a religion, a spirituality. And Google has kind of taken that over. People go to Google for answers rather than going to God for answers. And they're getting them, but they're skewed answers. This is a company that for a long time had the mentality of do no evil. And in some ways they have, and in other, when you get that big, it becomes very difficult. And you can't also just say, do what's best for all of humanity, because then the individuals, it's like, okay, well, that person could die so that these can live. It becomes a very difficult um, question and answer thing. And that's where people have to volunteer. That's where, military, there was a purpose in place for military throughout history. And maybe in a paradise world that, is created by a god can exist. But you look at the architects, you look at this world that we live in, and in reality, if there's going to be any kind of paradise at all, it comes from our mind. And after all of this, I hope you understand that that's the ultimate tool: your mind, your thoughts. And if you can harness them, you can do extraordinary things. But if you can't keep control of them, then you're going to struggle more. Now, if I want to make money, I can make money fairly easy. And I'm not saying like super large amounts, but the traditional amounts. $10 to $15 an hour is fairly easy to come by for almost any skill set if you just look hard enough. Especially $10 an hour. That's like extremely easy to come by now. Um, Everyone is hiring in America right now. And this really was a major shift. I don't think people realize. People got too cocky. And now we're entering into a recession. Like it or not, now is about to be a very, very good time to buy. There are world powers that we can't quite understand, but look at what's going on. Look at what's going on with the stock market. Things are boom, boom, up and down. The people that understand that it's always going to be all right are not going to have so much fear, but the people that are fear driven are going to be selling, and then it goes back up, and then they just lost all this value, and there's no way to get it back unless it dips again. And the people that hold will be okay, but there are going to be a lot of people that are scared. And those people that are scared are going to open up major opportunities for people. And that's why I'm refusing to just go work for $10 to $15 an hour, because we are entering into the greatest opportunity in the history of the world. And if I am not prepared, I will end up committing suicide, just because I know that with the struggles I've went through and where I'm at, it's like, no, I can't guarantee that I will, because I haven't thus far, and there may be some things that just keep me going, keep pushing through the adversity and defeat. But the point is that if I get a job, that's getting a job is calling it quits, because I can work. I mean, I could go get a job, but I couldn't do it. Um, unless it was insanely flexible. And in that case, I would rather just wait for the right investor, the right customers, the right people to come into my life, for my own attitude to be right. I'm working on it, but if I can't get it together, I'm not going to subject other people to my own negative mental attitude. And that's the power of the internet as well, because it enables us to say, you know what? I'm going to disconnect and just watch a bunch of movies today. And then the next day you can make $1,000. Now, it's not quite that easy. It takes skill. It takes understanding of this new world. But the point is that there's money everywhere on the internet. It's just flowing back and forth. It's flowing all over the place. And the best tool for the job for me right now is money. And that's not going to come from a job. It needs to come from venture capitalists, through investors that are willing to take the risk on me, that are willing to take the risk to finance my theories on village and city design. And here's the thing. Yesterday, I kind of came to the revelation that I may need to focus more on mental health and rehabilitation. And Donald Trump's talking a lot about mental health. A lot of people are talking about mental health. Yes, they don't want people with mental health issues to have guns. They don't want a lot of things. But guess what? They can't take from you if you have mental health issues. They can't take away your ability to create your environment over time. And you can slowly create habits to overcome your weaknesses with your strengths. But it takes time. And mental health places, rehabilitation places that enable people to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward is key. If they're not working, it all falls apart. Same with loving. Same with certainty, with living, with food, shelter, clothing, soap, deodorant, all those things. But they've got to be learning and growing. They can't feel stagnant. They've got to have time to play, enjoy themselves, decompress, balancing act. And I finally come up with the habits to do this. I finally come up with the solution. And I'm not going to be the judge other than, okay, it's 12:16. I'm just about 13 minutes into my podcast. So I was about 3 minutes late. But the last few days I've been doing my podcast. Some of them I haven't posted, but I'm going to post them. I'm working to get a grip on things and test different things out, because I know that in the coming days I'm no longer going to have internet. I'm no longer going to be able to share this with you guys. And man, it bothers me when I can't keep doing this, what I love to do. And I'm going to try to do my best to, I mean, I'm still going to film it and record it. I just don't know how I'm going to publish it, because I'm disconnecting from the matrix. It's really hard to stay tapped into the matrix for me. And what I mean by that is the internet world, this world that has allowed me to create over 200 podcasts. I mean, I've done over 250, but I don't know how many are actually public. And that number is growing each day by 777. And it's powerful. It's taking me to new heights. And I think people will see, okay, you see me breaking down, and then you're going to see like how I deal with things over time, over and over and over. And there's going to be so much content, no one's going to be able to consume it all. If people get interested in me, they're going to be able to literally binge my content. And that's kind of the goal too, is that I've got to keep going and keep being successful enough not to commit suicide. because I feel like if I commit suicide, then all this stuff could have a negative impact. So it's like it gives me even more push to like, okay, I've come this far. I've got to really help people to break free of that suicidal ideation, from that depression, from that helplessness, that feeling of worthlessness. Those feelings help people break free and through from that. It's the, it's the 21 habits of the Happy Hero Pact. It's living on purpose. If you're going to commit suicide of the wussy within and live on purpose. Live on purpose. And my purpose is this. It's my genuine purpose. It's genuinely why I feel I am here. And this is the podcast that no one really knows about. And man, I just cannot even explain to you what this has done for me. It has freed me. And it's not just this, it's been a combination of things. But it's like this has been the stretch that's freed me the most, because I finally sat down and said, okay, I'm going to try these 21 habits out. And I'm not making any money. I was making money, and I told people to stop paying me. And then it's like I'm telling my wife to quit her job because people are trying to get her fired. And we can't afford to be here anymore on that job. And it's like we've been looking for a place to live for 2 months, and we can't find one. We can't get a hold of our finances because we're overpaying. And now the summer's over, so it's like time's up. Now we've got limited time to get things together. She'll luckily find a higher paying job. And she was doing it out of loyalty, and now it's unfortunately, I mean, you can only be loyal for so long. When the environment's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to really say, because I don't know the right answers. I just know that the right tool, the right resource is money. And also, I need space. Here in Jackson, I can't go out, I don't feel comfortable going out in public, and I'm working on it. But it's like, as each day goes by, the less I want to be here, because there's so much opportunity elsewhere. And sometimes we need to travel, we need to sacrifice. And it's like, I'm not sacrificing enough. We're not sacrificing enough. We're just skating by, like, hoping for something to happen. And I've got all these videos of just me sitting here with nothing really happening. And it's like, yeah, I could have went into Jackson and I could have done the pitch competition, or been at least part of it, but I didn't. And it's because I just don't want to here. And I don't know how to get over that. I don't know that I'll ever be able to get over it. And like I've said in the past, I still intend to invest in this community. But I don't think that it'll be the place that I settle in long term. I may only be here very short term when I do that. I don't know. I think a lot would have to change. And that's the thing. It's like it's much easier to just go elsewhere from the place that you grew up. You can take care of it. There are the people that'll stay, but different people have different purposes. And just like the best tool for the job, choosing the life path that you want to go on is entirely up to you. And there's a lot of learning. And sometimes you may say, oh, I ran away. I was in fight or flight and I just flew the heck out of there. And I should have fought for my city. Um, but sometimes you've got to leave your city to fight for it. I mean, that's why America's number one ultimately, because we leave our country and fight the wars elsewhere, so we don't have to fight them on our soil. And that's what happens with the internet. It's like, oh, we go on the internet and spread this hate to people all over the place so that we're not affected in our day-to-day life. But it's about creation. It's I don't feel like I can create here and I don't know how to get past that. It's like other people can create much easier, and it's like the cost of living is so expensive. The cost of living, there's so many other places, better places with a better cost of living, more opportunity, more in alignment. So it's like, in the coming days, there's just no choice other than to leave. We've got to do it now because it's almost going to be too late. Lack of decision is worse than no decision at all. I mean, a bad decision is better than no decision at all. And if we get in a bad situation, I mean, we may have to really rough it in the winter. Right now, we don't have the resources to get to California, but we do to get up to Manistee. Or even Sparks, Nevada. California isn't going to happen, but Nevada, Sparks, Nevada could, but we can't go up there until October. We can't go there until October. So, are we leaving a little bit prematurely? And that I mean, we may need to stay a little bit longer. But at the same time, it's like people are trying to get my wife fired from her job. So the days are really numbered. The whole thing is really fishy. And it's like, it's just like, okay, now's the time to go. Maybe I told her to put in her 2 weeks notice today. And, we'll see what happens in that time, probably. Probably just stay for that time and see what happens. But after that time, I mean, it's putting in the 2 weeks notice, finding new job, up there, applying so that when we get up there, And it's like she's willing to do this for me because, well, she would have to work whether she was with me or not, but she's willing to take care of our household needs while I do this. Because she's like, she knows I couldn't go to a job. She knows how sick I am every day. The best tool for the job is the internet, and I've got to do whatever I can to keep it, and I can't keep it here. I can't keep it past the 4th year because it's so ridiculously expensive. And I told them to cancel, and they didn't, and that's their cancellation date on their own for non-payment. And I've even talked to customer service reps and told them, like, I've told you guys to cancel. I'm not calling into the cancellation department. And because the point is that this needs to be solved. I'm overcharged. If I just cancel, I'm going to be charged like $9,000 or something like that. It's just a ridiculous thing. I haven't even had this service for very long. 2 months. On the 13th of September, or the 12th of September. And yet I already owe $1,200 for just internet, and there's phone, but the phone is like way less. I would still owe like $800 without the phone, and then the phone added a big installation fee and stuff like that. But I did it this way because they required me to get a business account, and it's just been completely unreliable. The phone service is choppy, and it's like I was on the phone with the person from Comcast. It's like, and I'm like, right now the phone's messing up. I haven't even given out the number because I told them to cancel it before they even installed it, and then they still came and installed it. And I should have, put a stop to it and ended it, and put the effort forth. But at the same time, it was like, I need the internet, and I didn't want to have the conversation with them because it was just destroying my life. With like, there were 20 something calls, 17 emails, like I think 26 calls or something. And I think that was like one day. No, it wasn't one day. It was over a week. Yeah, that's what it was, over a week. And it's nothing ever got resolved, really. I mean, they came out, set up the thing that I needed, but I can't configure it, so I've had to leave it unplugged. And I opened a ticket, and I've never gotten it. So, like, the best tool for this job is patience, and I just haven't had it. Isn't that interesting? So, anyway, I want to end things here. And I want you to understand that the best tool for the job can be a mindset, like patience. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get the best tool for the job. Sometimes it's going to take resourcefulness to get the best tool for the job. Sometimes you're going to have to ask other people for help. But just understand that the more you experience and the more videos you watch, not for just the heck of it to keep your mind numb, but to expand your mind and refine your craft and learn about the world we're living in. I mean, there are people that have no clue what's going on in the world with companies like Amazon. These companies are just building this massive infrastructure for themselves. I mean, Jeff Bezos is literally going into space. Elon Musk, into space. These people are taking these resources and doing extraordinary things that the average person just can't even comprehend. And yet we can fly around, drive around, get drove around in our self-driving cars and have no real contribution other than serving others, where these other people are actually solving problems that they're passionate about. Everyone has their own purpose in life, and that's up to you to find. And you can only do that through experiencing the world. And that involves the real world and the virtual world. It's two different things, and you can compress decades into days. The internet is very powerful. Don't let other people, bash things and tell you that one way is necessarily better than the other. You learn. This is all a learning experience for you. And tools are important. Understand the tools. Research tools. Try to find the tools that are going to save you time. Thank you for another episode. Head on over to inspirelansing.com to see what we are really working on. We're going to inspire. We're going to help feed, house, and empower 1 billion people to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward for happiness, health, and selfless abundance by 2049. If you want to help, you want to join in, you want to become a part of it, inspirelansing.com, happyherostudio.com, happyherodeposit.com, in those order. Thank you. Have a great night.